Cool. All right, now we're live. All right, welcome everyone to the Cinéaste Cinema Club, of course, the book club for cinephiles. I'm your host, Mickey P. 33, and we got special guest, the one and only homie from another crony, Jacob Hong, returning. What's up, dude?
Homie from another crony. That's
Yeah.
something new I've never heard before. What the heck?
Dude,
Hey, it's
still
going well.
got
How's
it.
it going? Thank you for having me on the show today.
Of
I'm
course, of
very glad to
course.
have you, even though you didn't believe in me. But
Hey, I was right. You were sleeping.
bro, doesn't mean I wasn't gonna be here,
Hey,
dude.
I don't know, man. All right. What's up, Mickey Peeps? Oh, I've been invited to a game. That's probably Rye Guy. No thanks. All right, we both got hats on. You just got a haircut, huh?
Yeah, I do just get a
My
haircut.
hair is long, and I'm keeping it that way, bro.
I'm doing. I just needed to get my hair.
Oh, DG, what's up? Number one. All
Number one.
right. So, of course, today. Oh, did I not edit that? Oh, no. Okay, well, disregard that. It is not Hereditary that we're reviewing. It is Borat. I,
Go
I,
edit it right now.
I spent like, oh my gosh, wait, I'm trolling. Oh, I'm trolling. I didn't. Oh,
Oh,
why did I go live? Oh no. Oh no.
it's fine. Happens.
Okay. Well, I forgot to change the title of the stream too. Oh no, wait, was I still? Oh, I'm with the Rona Rangers right now. All right. Well, we'll fix this all in post. It's my fault for playing video games before the setting up the show. Anyways, all right. So we're gonna talk about Borat. Did you see your experience? Did you see your little cameo in the video yesterday, bro?
Yeah, I did. Thank you for the little
That's
cameo. I was like,
right.
the heck?
You gotta be in it.
Yeah,
Uh,
gotta be in it.
all right. Well, let's talk about Borat. You ready to get canceled?
I mean, no, but
Oh, well, I guess we could start with this. We woke up today, at least I woke up today well, I guess we all did, right? We all technically woke up today to President elect Joe Biden.
yeah,
So,
President-elect Joe Biden. So it's exciting, and not gonna get too political on here, but
yeah.
I mean, the race was close,
Dude,
and
it was a spicy race.
a lot of people could say in the United States it was very intense for the past 4 days. But now it's selected. Now it could give everyone the ease of mind, whether you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. I mean, ease of mind that you don't have to think about the election
Yeah,
anymore.
for another 4 years, pretty
Now
much.
you just have to, deal with the next 4 years, and we'll see how it goes. So,
Yeah, now we just wait for that stimulus, right? That's what. All right.
I guess
Well,
so.
I guess starting off with that, we do have Borat, of course, which has always. I can't remember the first one. Did it hit any political topics in the first one? I'm trying to
I
remember.
think Borat 1 was mainly just like America culture, like in general, and it was just talking about like America in
Okay, yeah,
general.
that's what
I
I
don't think
figured.
it really. There was a scene in Borat where he goes to Trump Towers and takes a
takes
crap
a
in front of the
shit, takes a deuce.
Trump
That
Tower,
was
but
that was pretty funny.
other than that, I don't think it
That's
was
pretty much
really
it, huh?
much political. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you saw or remember, but I rated Borat's subsequent film or Borat 2 or movie film, Borat 2.
hmm
I rated it a 7.8 out of 10. I thought it was very funny. Not like, I mean, it's tough because it's one of those films where it's like, oh, I found it really funny,
hmm
but, it's kind of tough to grade because I mean, there's, a little sense of a story, but not like you know what I mean? It's not like The Other Guys or Step Brothers.
Yeah.
It's a mockumentary, so it's kind of tough to rate it on some of those other aspects of the filmmaking process. But what would you give it for an overall grade? And did you
I
think it was funny?
The thing is, I thought it was. You said 7.8. You said right.
Yeah, that's what I rated it.
I think I give it an 8.5, and I think
8.5. Okay.
yeah, 8.5. I think it's interesting to it I really enjoyed the aspect of the movie is that like it shows you how, I guess, America is right now, and it just really portrays that well.
Hmm.
And I really enjoyed it, and I was like, I guess it's really surprising to see like you watch this movie and you're just like, nah, that can't be real.
Yeah,
Wait.
for
And
right.
then you're just like, wait, this is real. Like, it just like seems like even from Borat 1, like everything seems so fake, but Borat 1 was based on a basis that like 95% of the movie is real. Like this is real people reacting to what he's doing. And even Borat 2 is the same way. And yeah, it's just interesting. I thought it was really good. I mean, you can't if you're watching Borat 2 for cinematography and how it's shot,
Hmm.
it's like no, like forget about it. And I
Yeah.
think the way it's shot is like a mockumentary, right? It's
Oh yeah.
almost like The Office, the way they shoot The Office, right? It's just like feels like it's like a documentary or someone like actually shooting a documentary of their life, and it's this documentary is a guy named Borat who's from Kazakhstan who's shooting a documentary for Kazakhstan. So it was I really liked it. I think some parts very made me very cringe, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Did you like it, or did you think it was more funny than the first one?
I think it's different. I don't think you could
Yeah.
completely agree that it's a same humor, right?
Hmm.
I mean, first one was hilarious. Second one was, I think, funny too. I mean, if you watch the movie, it's like the movie is so like. I mean, again, like I'm not saying it's anti. Like I'm anti. I'm not anti-Semite or anything, or like, but like I don't know how a movie like this kind of goes. Like it's so anti-Semitic, and
Yeah.
it just like bashes on every single like U.S. political topic right now, and I
Hmm.
don't know how like it does everything like this, but like people don't say, they cancel, like they say no, this movie is canceled, right? Like nowadays it's so like people are very like, careful about what they say, and it's I'm not saying it's a wrong thing, but like people are very careful to say what they say just because
Hmm.
like, you never know who's listening and whatnot. But if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it got an 86 from like
From the
the
critics.
critics, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just you watch it and you're just like, wow, like this is insane. Like this is a state of America, and this is what certain people think. Not, I'm not saying all people are like that who support, Donald Trump. It seems like because he kind of nailed the hammer on people who support Donald Trump
Yeah.
and kind of show that. But I'm not saying all people who support Trump are like that. But
Exactly.
it just it's just a small sample size of people. And yeah, I get it. Like not, I mean, not everyone's like that, right?
Hmm.
But it's just sad to see that those people actually do exist in this country, and it's like it's an eye opener, right? Like we live in
Exactly.
California, so California is very different, right?
Hmm.
And you could see that the difference between California and like certain other states that he goes to, you're just like, wow, like we're the same America, but it's so different from all around the world and or all around the country, I should say. And it's like almost like a different country they live in, right? I mean, he goes
Yeah.
to Texas, I think,
Hmm.
and it's like Texas is a huge country, but like I've been to Austin, I've been to Houston, and people are cool. And I'm pretty sure you've been to like San Antonio, and people are
San
cool there.
Antonio,
But
Austin. Yeah.
yeah, people in like rural Texas, and there's also rural like California and stuff. Like they're different. Like they're totally different from you and I. And I
Hmm.
think we're just not used to it, and you just think there's no way these people exist, but they do exist. So
Yeah, exactly. So for me, well, first off, let me start off. I forgot to do this at the top. Shout out to my dad, Mickey Papi Pena.
Poppy Pena, Mickey Pena. You're
Mickey
about to say Mickey
Poppy
Pena.
Poppy P, Poppy P, Daddy P,
Papa
Papa
P.
P, Papa P. There you go, Papa P. Always supporting me. One of my number one supporters. Comments on every YouTube video. He's gonna watch this later. He said he was looking forward to having you on the show. So shout out to Papa P. All
Yeah,
right,
Papa
that's
P. Thank you, Mr. Pena, for watching and supporting.
all right. Well, yeah. So for me, like I know a lot of people were saying that, oh, the whole gimmick of Borat, like, just the things that he does, that like that whole gimmick from the first one was like it's not new anymore. And it isn't. We know Borat now, we know the everything that he's trying to do, but I feel like this movie, it kind of like you said, it um took it to that next level, cuz I think the first one kind of more so exposed like the underbelly of America. Like you don't get to see these um you know, I guess you could say like racists, right? Like I mean, more so now in this political and social climate, like
Hmm.
there's a lot of things being shown on social media, um, where these people think that they can get away with this stuff. And in the first one, it didn't really show that. It just kind of showed like a hint of that. And I think
Hmm.
this one more so delved a little more into it. Like you said, he went to Texas, and then um, I think there was a scene where I can't remember. Did he say something about about the like gay people or something, um and then like all these like, or not all these white people, but some of these white people were like, they kind of showed their um I guess it's what you would call systemic racism, right? Like maybe they don't think they're racist. It's just how they were born and
I think
raised.
I think it's the two people that lived in that house together, and I think
Yeah.
they were
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah,
saying like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah,"
The
I
husband and
think they
wife,
were
right?
talking.
Is that the one?
No, 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 no. I think it was his two friends, right? The two
Oh,
white
yeah, yeah.
people
The
that
two.
he moved
Yeah,
into,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then he
yeah.
kind of asked, "Is like, are you guys like boyfriends?" And then he was like, "No, no, like we're just friends or something like that." I think that was the
Mm-hmm.
scene. I don't really remember. I would have to rewatch to go back to that, but yeah, like it's just this underlying like people think it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's like, but like to them it might be okay, but to me it's not okay. But to another person that's just like them might be okay. And it's just really it's nature versus nurture, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the big thing about that. Is it really you're born that way, like being a racist, being a homophobe? Like, are you born into that? And the big question is, or are you nurtured by your parents to believe that, you know, racism is okay and homophobia is okay? And I think you're right. You get a big point of it is that are they grown up like that? And you know, coming from me being a psychology, like I study psychology, like partially in college for my major and studying it. And I highly believe that nurture plays a big role within that whole I get idea because I wrote a actually when I was in college I wrote a huge my final paper actually for one of my in order to get my degree
Mm-hmm.
was a study of are sports fans born like rivals of sports teams born to hate the other sports teams or are
Mm-hmm.
they nurtured into hating that sports team? So the biggest idea here is that like one of the biggest rivalries in sports is Lakers versus Celtics
Mm-hmm.
and Dodgers versus Giants. Those are we're from LA, so we
LA, yeah.
understand that, right? So my study was to study to see if these fans who are Giants fans or Dodgers fans do they just when one day when they remember they were Dodgers fan, were they, you know, brought up to just, as soon as you become a Dodgers fan, you just like, ew, the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
Or does a media play a role into it? Does your surrounding play a role into it? And we found out, from the study, it was nurture that once you become a Lakers fan or a Dodgers fan, and the surrounding fans around you said, "Oh, I hate the Celtics. I hate the Giants." Now you're in this notion of, "Oh, maybe I'm supposed to hate the Celtics. I'm supposed to hate the Giants."
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I think it's really nurture. I don't think anyone is born into this world saying, you know, I'm a racist, right?
Yeah.
No baby's born into the world as a out of their mom's stomach. They come out and say I'm a racist, right?
You're
They
gonna
don't
say
pop out.
something else.
No, 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 no. Out of a stomach and then say, I'm racist, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting to
and
look at. And then you're right. And it's has to do with a lot of nurture and in this world. And that's what I firmly believe in, that you are grown to that way. I mean, in a sense that, like, I'm talking about just in a way like you're a racist or you're homophobe or like stuff that you dislike and you like your ideas of politics, you're nurtured that way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
who
yeah.
you are. And it's just terrible. Yeah.
See, what I liked about this is that it continued that from the first one, kind of hit those, and kind of shined a light on, all these issues that may have actually become more prevalent in the past, years. But what this thing does new, or what this film does new, is it hits the political climate. I think the first one hit more social climate, and this one hit more political. And you
Mhm.
see that clearly with Mike Pence and Rudy. Was it Giuliani? Is that
Rudy Giuliani, yeah, that's
Giuliani is the last name? Yeah. That
Trump's
scene
worst.
was. Oh, again, sorry. If you guys haven't seen, this is a spoiler show, so spoilers. We're talking spoilers. So, of course, with that being said, we have the big, um, uh, I guess, undercover scene in the film with Rudy Giuliani. Um, I don't know. I saw something a couple days ago, actually, and I guess Borat and Tutar, or the actors, of course, they were on Good Good Morning America, I think,
Hmm.
and they were interviewed by the host, and pretty much the host brought up, they're like, "Oh, did you see that Rudy Giuliani sent out a tweet, and the tweet was saying something like, "Oh, I was just
Adjusting
like
my belt for the
adjusting, yeah, or tucking in my shirt after taking out the mic pack. If you think anything different, like the film was shown to mislead you, and if that's the intention of the filmmaker, then he said, like, screw them or something like that. But and then, of course, in the interview, Sacha Baron Cohen says, I think it's pretty clear what was
his intent
happening,
was. Yeah.
exactly the intent. And when I was watching that, that was one of the very cringy, awkward scenes. It, like, man, that was it started getting uncomfortable and almost like, if it kept going, I probably would have had to like stop watching. I don't know if
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
but
I think
thankfully he came in and stopped it, which, I mean, of course he was going to do, but I feel like he let it go enough where it was like, everyone knows, like, what, you know what I mean?
I think the intention of going into that scene was that they wanted to see what he would do. I get it. And partially it was a setup, right? It was set up to, see what he would do in that situation, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, I get it, but he fell for that setup, right?
Yeah.
Like, this whole movie is really set up. Yeah, okay, so let me go before I go into more about this, like, whole setup and what the movie is about. I actually went ahead and, like, kind of researched about what parts of the movies were real. Um
Oh, good, cuz I kind
the
of
Yeah,
wanted to
the
know.
babysit yeah, the babysitter, real, 100% real.
Oh, that black lady?
Yeah, she says she felt kind of betrayed after, and Sacha
Really?
Baron Cohen
Mhm.
donated $100,000 to her, but she said she couldn't accept it, and they donated it to a church or something like that.
Huh.
The two Jewish ladies in a is it a synagogue?
Yeah,
Is
the
it where?
synagogue. That
Yeah,
must have been real,
synagogue,
right?
100% real.
Okay. That
Rudy Giuliani, 100% real. Some of the things that I found, so the whole movie is pretty much real. Everyone else, like even him buying a telephone, the fax machine, everything real.
Okay, yeah. Like, I think that's like the first one, is like, most of this is like, it's real. I feel like there were a couple
There were
scenes where I was like, "Oh, so, like, for me, like, for the most part, like, when he went to the rally, when he went to
100% real.
when he was singing at that one Texas thing with his friends, that was for the most part, like, oh, that was real. But I'm surprised about the babysitter. I thought, I mean, who would think that it's real when he brings in your daughter, and then he's like, "Oh, here's her bowl. Sit in the corner." Like, I thought that was fake. I can't believe that one was real.
She said she felt like she was betrayed and she was tricked into doing it, but that lady was so like heartwarming to see her, like the stuff she
Yeah.
says and just kind of says to her was very heartwarming. But no, she was actually 100% real, and I think she
Wow.
believed at that place. Borat is from somewhere else. I think she didn't want to question his ethics and morals,
Mhm.
but stuff that were fake was one of the stuff was fake. Not 100% fake, I heard, but the father and daughter dance, I heard that those people that were attending that dance were all paid $100 to attend the dance.
Oh, okay.
But they're really
But they
fathers and
didn't
daughters
know
out there.
that
They didn't know
what
what
was
was
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they just knew it was a father and daughter dance, and they were just attending it for $100 per person.
What
But
were some of your funniest what were some of the scenes you thought were the funniest? Because that was one of the ones I thought was,
oh, that
hilarious.
I thought it was gross. I thought I was
I
I
was
was
I
so
was laughing at that
I
one.
was so disturbed. You don't even know, man. But the funniest I think funniest sequence Borat had in this whole movie was the whole fax sequence. I think that
Oh,
fax sequence is
yes.
so clever. Like he's sending a message to his is
The
it prime minister
the
or whatever
yeah, whatever. His boss.
whatever yeah his boss through fax machine saying like, oh, like should I do this, and then the boss is sending a fax back, and like the poor guy who works at the UPS store is just like doing it for him
Yeah.
and has like 100% like no idea what's going on, and it's just like wow, like this guy is just actually sending facts for
Yeah.
him. And he's like, oh, reading the facts, he's like, you will die if you don't deliver present. And then Borat's like, oh no, I will die. And then he's celebrating with them. He's like, I will not kill you if you do that. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
I will not die. And then he's like, celebrating with them. And it's just like so funny to see. Like this guy's genuinely like 100% real person. And interesting thing about Borat, he's from Kazakhstan, but the
Mhm.
language he's speaking within the movie is not Kazakh language. It's not. He is speaking a mix of Polish, I believe, and Hebrew and something else.
Okay, yeah,
But he is,
cause when I saw what like, I never well, of course, I don't know, the language of Kazakhstan, but
yeah,
I was like, a lot of it sounded very, Hebrew. I didn't know Polish, but Hebrew for sure. Like, there was one where he said, "Oh," where he's buying the fat suit because, he's like, "Oh, I can't everyone knows me now." And so he buys the fat suit, and then he's talking to the guy, and he goes, "Oh, where's his kham?" Or something like that. And that
yeah,
word just sounded so like Hebrew. And
yeah,
yeah, I didn't know that there was Polish in there too, but
yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, he's speaking like so. I heard that like Yakishmesh, which means how are you in Polish, I think.
Hmm.
And that's what like that's his like saying, right? It's like Yakashimash, my name is
Yeah.
a Borat. That's like his like
Yeah.
famous line,
My
right?
name Barat.
Yeah, but then like there's another one he said like Chinquize or something like that, right? It's like
Mhm.
Chinquize or something like that. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
was like thank you in Polish.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because I was like, there's no way that he's actually speaking Kazakh, right? Like, because like
Yeah.
there's no way that Sacha Baron Cohen like Kazakh is such a like Kazakhstan in general is such a I mean, it's a big country on the map, but it's such a like untouched part of the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a part of the world that's like very like living in the U.S. Like I only met one person in the U.S. that has a heritage that comes from Kazakhstan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's actually my friend's girlfriend,
Hmm.
and I after I met her, I was like talking to her, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, like my heritage comes from I'm from Kazakh, or my family's from Kazakhstan, and like my grandparents are from Kazakhstan." I was like, "Oh, that's she's I think they call themselves Kazakh." It's interesting. And you know, she was saying that like yeah, like when people like when you could go to ancestry.com or 23andMe and actually tell them that you're Kazakh, and they'll send you a test for free. And then the reason is because this part of the world is so untouched, and people like people at ancestry.com or 23andMe want to kind of get this family lineage and DNA from people from Kazakhstan, that they're willing to give this test out for free because their database gets bigger, right?
Mhm.
So it's just these countries over there, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and like Kazakhstan. Like these countries are like very unheard of, right? But like you hear of Afghanistan all the time, like
Yeah.
in America, right? But like yeah, Kazakhstan is such a it's a big country if you look at it on the map, like as a size wise, it's pretty big. But
Mhm.
like it's just yeah, like I think like what I'm trying to say is like yeah, like learning a language of Kazakhstan and it's crazy. Like it's probably hard. And I remember in one of the Olympics, I forget what Olympics is, but one of the Kazakh an athlete from Kazakhstan won like a weightlifting, I think. Hold on, let me double check. But
Hmm.
um so I think I forget which Olympics or what it is, and then but then the award ceremony was going on, and usually when you get a first place in these sporting events,
Mhm.
they play the national anthem of your country, right? So it's like you oh it's 2016 Summer Olympics, or wait, it says 2012 she won the Amir of Kuwait International Shooting Grand Prix. But at the award ceremony, the parody national anthem from the film Borat was mistakenly played for the Kazakh national anthem. So like she's like standing up there
No,
and
I was gonna say what.
I
Uh,
like she's standing up there and then she's like standing there
like
like and
this
then this
isn't
like
my
Borat's national
national
anthem,
anthem.
but she like totally plays it off. Like she doesn't like react to it at all.
That's
And
funny.
you're just watching it and you're just like, wow, like that's crazy. Like that, Borat 2 is even a bigger phenomenon that the country that it's representing itself.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and that's how I think like unknown is about Kazakhstan. I think like it's just not an uncharted territory, but I would say,
No,
but like
yeah,
it's
it's
like there are countries around the world that are very like unknown to some people, right?
oh yeah.
There's some countries around like Africa, like people have never heard about, even like even like South America, like Guyana, like people
Yeah.
use Suriname, like French Guiana, like these are countries, but you just don't hear a lot about it, right?
Mhm.
Because when you think of like, you know, I think Kazakhstan is part of Asia, and then when you think of like Middle East, Asia, like you only hear of, Iraq, you
Yeah.
only hear of Iran,
Iraq, Afghanistan. Yeah, of course.
Pakistan,
Pakistan.
Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia,
Well,
but
of
there's
course,
so
because
many,
that's I mean, that's like you said, it's like with Brazil and all these island nations. You only hear the main ones that are, of course, um, significant, whether it be in because of politics or what have you. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think for sure this, at least Borat and the first one, definitely, I guess, brought more attention to Kazakhstan. Um, I don't know. Again, like you said, we don't know enough of Kazakhstan to know like is he um kind of making fun of them, or because they're such a maybe like a an underdeveloped nation, because when the scenes when he's in his hometown in Kazakhstan, he they he said, oh, this is the family, or the town, they say the town like slut or something like that, and like this and
yeah,
that in the first one. So it's kind of like we don't know, is he making fun of them, kinda, or is he legit, like, making jokes like, he does, but this is really the situation that it is over there. And that's something that hopefully some people will see and be like, "Oh, is Kazakhstan really like that?" And, of course, it brings awareness to that nation. But what I wanted to hit on next was, I remember, this came out on the 23rd. I think at the end of September, one of the um, these movie, I guess, journalists that I keep up with, he told me that, oh yeah, I guess, in a month, Borat 2 is going to be filming. or is going to be releasing.
Okay.
And he was like, I didn't know, it's like, wow. Like he was just so surprised because it's like usually with movies we hear like, oh, they're planning a Borat 2. Oh, they're gonna, they're in production. Oh, it's in editing, oh, this is the whatever. And this went by so like under the radar. Um and I was, a lot of people weren't expecting Borat 2, and it kind of just appeared out of nowhere. But it kind of makes sense because it's like, well, the whole, you know, gimmick of Borat is, to do these things that are, like in disguises undercover. So if you say, "Hey, we're shooting Borat 2," people are gonna be like, expecting it, right?
Yeah, and
But
I think in the beginning of the movie, it shows that like people do recognize who Borat is in America,
mm-hmm.
and but like I said before, like people are like, how could this movie be real when Borat came out? How did these people not realize it? But really, like in hindsight, like you got to think about it, like you don't recognize all the stars that walk down the street. You
Yeah.
don't recognize who it is. You might not recognize, what it is. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like really like untouched part of the world who like, well, not world, but like in America, like people are not watching like Borat.
Mm-hmm.
Like not everyone in the world. There's not a
Oh yeah, of
100%
course.
watch rate in the world, and these
Yeah.
people, don't recognize Borat, and these people who are reacting with them don't realize it's like, oh, that was Borat.
Mm-hmm. Which
So
is
I
it's
think,
pretty interesting, is because it's only in these big like Texas, right? In LA, in uh I know in the first one he was in New York. I can't remember if he was in New York in this one, but LA, New York, all these big cities, it's like of course people are going to recognize the Borat character. So he had to go, even more undercover as a an American. Which I thought was pretty funny because, he didn't look like, he just looked like a stereotype of Americans. I
yeah,
say this in the review. He's like this fat, or this overweight white guy, you know, who has, who's a little bit racist or something. Um, and then,
yeah,
but that character, because he says things that are, maybe a little bit racist or anti gay or whatever, or homophobic, he um in doing so, he gets some of these other people in these cities and states to, kind of agree, with some of his statements and play off of that, and it's very surprising. But I
yeah.
feel like at the same time, it's like, if I was a lot of the time in these movies, and especially Borat movies, I think, what would I do in this situation? Would I continue going along with it? Like
Hmm.
the scene where he buys a cell phone and the guy and he's like looking at porn and goes to the restroom. Like if I was that guy, I would have been like I don't know, would I have just stood there and been like, okay, or would I have been like, no, 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 you can't do that. If I was the guy in the UPS faxing, what, like I wouldn't have had the patience. I would have done it for a while for sure, but I wouldn't have, you know, done it as long as it seemed the guy did.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just, it's interesting on how, and the whole COVID, you see in this probably like the second half of the movie how COVID plays a role in the film. And it's crazy to think that that was at the start of this whole quarantine, because that was when they were like, oh yeah, they were saying that we got to start, quarantining and whatever. And then toward the end of the film, you see like the babysitter, she's like, no, 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 stay back there, stay back there, 6 feet
Hmm.
apart. And it's just crazy. It's like, wow, that was what, 9 months ago now, or
Hmm.
8 9 months ago. And it's like, wow, that, like I can't,
Time flies.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been almost 8 months we've been in quarantine, and
Ugh, that's crazy.
this country can't get it together because people don't want to wear masks. So
Yeah, well,
where your okay, well, this is me getting somewhat
PSA.
political. Wear your damn mask. Stay 6 feet apart, and really, if you really want to do something, like just wait, be patient. Like if you stay inside and wear your mask for 3 months, we would have been out of this. But now
Possibly. I
it's
mean, I think I think the exact same too. Like, I think that people should be wearing masks and being safe. Um, you know, I I'm not necessarily the one to be like super like as germophobic, I guess. Like, a lot of people became germaphobes with this since they started cleaning everything, their fruits and veggies. Some people overdid it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't that bad, but I also wasn't like some of these other people who are COVID deniers. They're like, oh, that's fake and it's conspiracy, blah blah blah, right? So I'm kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, people definitely need to just be smart, be safe. I see a lot of people doing gatherings, and as long as you're doing it safe,
Yeah.
it's tough to not be able to socialize with people. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, hey, that's I like it. This is my time to shine. But
Yeah, I
for
mean,
someone like you, you're really social.
no, no, no,
So
no, but I mean, I think I am social, but I think the thing is, like, no, I enjoy staying home, like, too
Mhm,
much. Like, I will enjoy watching movies, TV shows at home, and it's just like I've enjoyed it. Like the past 8 months, like working from home, I've enjoyed it. I mean, like some people like live this life on a daily basis. Like some people we know, like in our lives, that like have worked from home all the time and never, gone into an office or whatnot. And
mhm,
for them, it's like nothing new. But for me, it's something new. Like I've gone into an office all my life, and now I'm just working from home, and like, someone like Dan, like he's never, I mean, he's worked in an office too, like in the beginning of his career, probably, but
mhm,
like now he's just always working from home, so it's like nothing new to him, and he's used to the change. But I didn't get used to the change in the beginning at all. Like, it was just like really rough, but
mhm.
I'm used to it now, and are we ever gonna go back to normal? Like, is normalcy really in the question? Like, are we going to the office every day? I think now I'm used to it that like I don't even know if I want to go into the office,
Yeah,
right?
for real. That would
So
be ideal, especially if you have, if your
mm,
job requires you to commute.
yeah, so it's
One of
pretty
the other
interesting.
things I wanted to bring up here was the scene with Mike at the, I forget, it was like a CP something rally, but at the Mike Pence rally or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it
that was totally real. Yeah, CP
is it
something. Yeah,
CPC CP something?
yeah, yeah,
But like it's just crazy to think how much they were able to get away with, or not get away with, but like how far they were able to take these I guess pranks, if you will, like for him to dress up as Don, like and I think he said it in a couple interviews where I don't know if it's TSA agent or some sort of security guard is, wanding him,
yeah. Hmm.
and then beep, he goes, "Oh, what's that?" He goes, oh, it's my pacemaker." And you go,
Hmm.
"Okay." He goes, "Beep," a little lower in a different spot. He goes, "What is that?" And then, before he can say anything, he said, Borat says, or no, the security guard says, "Oh, that's the wire to your pacemaker, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And it's just like crazy to see how uh people are can get away with stuff because they don't
Hmm.
say anything, and other people kind of allow it, or maybe do poorly of their jobs. But the whole thing where he was able to actually get into that room, get into that rally, and carry his daughter, especially when you see the shot of him running across like the hall and the outside. It's like, wouldn't people, security guards on the outside, have been like, "Hey, there's a guy dressed up as Donald Trump carrying someone," you know?
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
that was crazy.
I heard that it was like 100% real. Like he's at Mike Pence is giving a speech at CPAC, which stands for the Conservative Political Action Conference,
Oh, okay.
in like
CPC.
some I forgot what state it was. I think it was maybe in Maryland. I think they were
I think
saying
it was, yeah, I can't remember.
yeah, but then supposedly he goes there, and actually this is like totally real. Like he comes in and like disrupts the whole thing, dressed up
Yeah.
as Donald Trump and saying like take my daughter, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like he calls him a supreme or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
something
it
like
is.
that.
And then it's just vice premier. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
word that uses premier. Vice premier Michael Pence, and then that's what he says.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's just like he's trying to like, and it's like 100% real. You look up YouTube videos of Mike Pence CPAC
Uh-huh.
speech, like it's real.
Oh,
Like
it has
you
people
hear
like,
it, yeah,
filming and stuff, or like
yeah, you hear him
cell
like
phone
kind of stop for a
footage.
bit, and then like he's starting to like you hear him say, it's like take my wife, like take my
Yeah.
daughter, like you hear him, like it's crazy, like, and I'm just like, wow, what the heck? How do you get away with that kind of stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
how do you not get sued if you're like the filming company? But
Right?
I like,
Yeah. It's like how like it's like, okay, well he did this stunt, they must have questioned him after, right? So it's like, oh, you're doing a film. Wouldn't they be like, hey, no, we're not gonna allow you to use that footage. Give us your foot. I don't know, but that I just thought that was very, very crazy. Um,
yeah,
how did you feel about the daughter, Tutar?
I think she was great. I think she was a great actress. She did a really, I mean, to tell you the truth, if like I was a girl and I was told to like act like that, like
Hmm.
I don't know if I would want to like sign on to that role. But I
Yeah,
think no, she's a very small actress, and I think she had a very breakout role, and I think she did a very good job. Portrayed, being Borat's, second hand person in that movie very well. In the first one, he has that one
yeah,
guy
yeah. Azamat.
that his yeah, Azamat, like his filming like
The-
assistant.
Hey, we
But
get a
like,
little cameo of him in the beginning. He goes, "Oh, I'll go with
yeah,
Azuma." He goes, "You can't, or impossible." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "You're sitting on him," and he gets up from the chair. His little D&B or just on the couch.
yeah,
It's hilarious.
yeah. So it's yeah, so yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I thought
she
she
did a very good
was,
job. Yeah.
yeah, she was great. Just like you, I don't know how you would be like, oh, because I think in the interview too, in the GMA interview, she was saying how she interviewed
Uh-huh.
and that they did like an open, I forget what it's called, open something, but pretty much they interviewed for these roles where they kind of put these actresses in these positions
Hmm.
to see how they would react and if they would go along with it, but it's just crazy because it's like I would not um play that part, you know?
Hmm.
Like it's
And I
it's
think
just too wild.
it's way wild. I think, but then she played it well. I think she did a good job, and I think that movie was definitely. I mean, I think she definitely made a difference in that movie, and I think yes, Sacha Baron Cohen was a great actor, but I think he made a very big difference, and
Hmm.
yeah,
I think she
but
definitely
she appreciate
stole
that.
a lot of the the movie for me. A lot of the the even just the small things like when they go dress shopping, I think it is. And they go, "Oh, this is a nice dress." And she goes into the changing room, comes out with the bag that the dress is in. She goes, "Oh, I love it." And he goes, that's not the dress. That's a bag." It was just something so small, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think the funniest scene was for me was the clinic, abortion clinic scene.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that in the trailer and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I know it gets like racy and edgy, but this is crazy." And then you see that the build up to the clinic scene of him saying, "Oh, I put a baby in my daughter," is she ate a cupcake with a baby on him, and that was just hilarious to see that. That's really what they were talking about in that clinic scene.
Yeah.
Um, but we can talk a little bit about the story as we finish wrapping things up here. I was not expecting um this whole father daughter thing, how it showed their relationship get better. That was really cool to see, but also the it was political in another one of those women empowerment kind of things, because she's this naive girl that people could possibly take advantage of, and that is part of their culture, I guess, at least from what he says in the movie. He's like,
Hmm.
oh, you're not supposed to touch your vagine,
Hmm.
it's gonna eat your hand off.
Yeah.
And the the black lady, the babysitter, she goes, no, your dad's wrong, and she goes, no, my dad is the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
Um, and she's the one that um and she's the one that teachers are like, hey, no, like open your eyes, like women can do everything, or and anything, which is really amazing to see. But also that plot twist at the end. What did you think of that plot twist? I wasn't expecting the plot twist.
I wasn't expecting it either. I thought it was just crazy. That plot twist was like just put the cherry on top for a Sunday, icing on a cake. It was just like was so great. Like I was just like, wow, I can't believe that is actually what they did, and wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So if you guys have um seen
No,
the
let's not ruin the plot twist for
no.
people, but so
Okay.
people
Okay.
could watch it. Yeah, so
Okay, well,
I
so
think
if you,
people could
yeah,
go.
I guess because some of the things that we quote unquote spoiled are just the gags and whatnot, but the plot twist is if you haven't seen it, the plot twist pretty, it's like what, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was really expecting that. That was like the biggest plot twist,
Dude,
and
just another thing for conspiracy theorists to believe, you know.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, overall, I thought this was, a very funny movie. Not in the traditional comedy sense, but
y-
for what it was as a mockumentary, I
yeah,
thought
it
it
was
was
very.
very hilarious. It got very political, but that's what Borat is. So you can't really get
Yeah,
mad at that. Do you have any other final thoughts on the film before as we finish
I,
wrapping up here?
I think we went over a lot of the thing. Yeah, I think yeah, we covered the most of the things, but yeah, Borat to give it a watch. I mean, I think that like one of the things is like, oh, I haven't watched Borat one. Like, do I have to watch Borat one in order to watch this too? No, I don't think you really need to know anything about Borat one. Just know
Mhm.
that Borat one was about him just going to America and just making a film that shows America, or Kazakhstan, the life of America, and that was the premise of the idea.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, you see, so pretty much in the beginning of the movie of Borat two, they're saying that he's in jail because he made Kazakhstan a laughing stock of
Yeah.
the country, the world, and that's a reason why he's in it because he made that Borat one movie, and they're saying that it was bad. But yeah, just give Borat two a watch. I mean, it just shows you status of America, and with the election, pretty much over now. Like
Mhm.
with CNN and a lot of major networks kind of projecting Biden to be the president, but you watch it and you just get a different sense of America, and there are different people with different ideas around the world. Doesn't mean that you need to judge them 24/7. Everyone has different ideas and everyone has their different thoughts. Um, yeah, it doesn't mean you should hate them. Doesn't mean you should like cuss them out or anything. And some people are very unbearable. I get it, but just be the bigger person and just like I'm not saying like anything about anything political, but just be understanding of each other. I think in order to change the United States, is you need to be understanding of each other, and I think you just need to love each other, and just change is not going to happen if you show hate and just hatred towards everything. And I get it, like this country is divided into two parties, Democrat or Republican, but at the end of the day, we all just want to live in a better America, and we just want to live in a better place to call our home, and you know just make the change. So we'll see. But yeah, just watch Borat 2. Just understand that this movie doesn't portray all people who
Mhm.
support Trump or support Republican Party, but it's a very small sample size. But these people do exist, and it's just one step at a time. So yeah, watch Borat 2. I think it was very enjoyable. very funny. Some scenes will make you very cringy, but I think it's all worth it.
The synagogue scene was so hilarious as well,
It's not, yeah,
but also very heartwarming as how
yeah,
that scene ends.
yeah,
To show that love conquers hate. And
yeah.
I think that's a good message as we finish up here. Is just like you said, you know, the film shows that there are people who are full
Hmm.
of hate and like that out there.
Hmm.
Um, but as in the movie in the synagogue scene, you know,
Hmm.
he's afraid of Jewish people, and he plays on other stereotypes. And even though someone may be like, "What is this? Like you're playing on our stereotypes," and get so mad, they're like, "Come here. Let me
Those
show
two
you
ladies,
that
yeah,
I'm
show compassion.
not evil,
Yeah,
that I'm not bad, everything you've heard of." And he
mhm,
grows to care for them. And again, just love conquers hate, you know
yeah,
love
and
above
it really
all.
show compassion towards people. I mean, people all support Trump for different reasons, and not everything is the same reason. People support Biden for different reasons, and people don't support Biden or Trump and support another candidate, like George Jorgensen, for different reasons. And you know, that's a freedom we have in the United States, so
Hmm.
that we're given that freedom to support whoever we want. I mean, yes, is it sometimes like to people is like, how can you support like a person like Trump and blah blah blah? But at the end of the day, that is the foundation this country was built on,
Yeah.
to freely believe what you want to believe, freely believe in what you want to say, freely say what you want to say, freely believe, freely print what you want to say. And really, that is the foundation of this country, to be free from the First Amendment. You have
Hmm.
freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of whatever,
We're
freedom
just
to
free.
protest.
Yeah, we're a
Yeah,
free
and
country.
that's what it is. And I think you know sometimes during this election, Trump was saying like, "Hey, like I want to, stop the count." No, like that's democracy. You're gonna count, every vote counts. Really, every vote matters. Every vote counts. So it's too late to say this. We should have done Borat 2 before the election day. But really, like next vote, midterm vote, election, vote. If you want to make a change, vote. People say California doesn't matter, it's a blue state. It doesn't matter. You could vote on props, you could vote on measures. Go vote, and let your voice be heard. Don't sit there and say I want to change without voting, because if you want to change, go vote. And that's the only way you're going to get change. Let your voice be heard as a United States like as an American citizen. And that's what you has your right as an American citizen living in a democracy. Your
Mhm.
vote counts, your voice is heard. So make sure you vote. Make sure you go out there and say, hey, like, don't go up to people that are Biden supporters or Trump supporters, vice versa, like whatever you support, and start hating on them. Show compassion. That at the end of the day, Joe Biden said today when he tweeted, he's like, I'm gonna be, whether you voted for me or not, I'm gonna be the president for all of America. Like
Yeah.
that's what he's saying. It doesn't matter if you hate me, if you didn't vote for me, I'm gonna try to make the change and best. And people are like, can you really believe a president like that? But I mean, at the end of the day, you have to believe him. You elected him. He's gotten the most, votes ever in a president election, and you have to trust in him. And you elect these officials to make the change, and we have to put the trust in him. Whether you support him or not, let's trust him, and let's see if we can make any change.
All right. Good closing thoughts. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for coming on the show.
thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me. Yeah,
Uh, we'll
of
we'll
course.
we'll get you on again in maybe a more you know, fun movie. This one
Mhm.
was, fun, comedic, but we also had, just by the nature of the film, we had to hit certain um
Topics.
topics, and of course, we don't get too political here. You
Hmm.
and I, in general, are just don't get political really in general. At least especially in a public
Setting.
forum setting.
Yeah.
Um, but they're just some things that you have to, of course, address, right? Especially with the nature of a film like this. But
Hmm.
thanks for coming on again. You know, Everyone, he streams on Twitch, Kid with No Shoes. So go check out. Do you still stream?
Yeah, I stream sometimes.
Okay.
I haven't streamed.
I
Yeah.
know they're vibe besides these things, but anyways, go check out his channel. He plays a lot of games. And we'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to check out the next review. Coming out this Friday. I think we're gonna do Trial of the Chicago 7. Um, and that's gonna be on my YouTube channel. So go check that out and follow all the socials up above to keep in touch with what movies we're reviewing and if you guys want to discuss or recommend any movies to me. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
Bye.